I was showing up with a lot of loyalty, a lot of consistency and care, thinking this will make them love me more. This will make them choose me, while he was giving me the bare fucking minimum. Friendships too. Hello, wildflowers. Thank you for tuning in. If you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, thank you for coming back to watch me talk. I like to just jump into my videos. I don't really know, but I just really do like to jump into the videos. So, and plus I be forgetting stuff, so I have to say it like right then and there. So let me just jump right into it. I dated someone when I was like 18 or 19, I think. Was I? Okay, around 18, maybe 20. In between 18 and 20. That in-between space when you're technically grown, but you still carry like the insecurities and questions you never had tools to answer. And I loved the person I was with. I was so deeply in love, y'all. And I mean, really, 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 really in love. I thought I was, but at that time, this is my first love. Like, I thought I was so in love. And not from a place of like fullness, but a place of hunger. I wanted to be everything for this person. I remember thinking, how can I be the best woman for him? In my mind, it was like a test I had to pass to earn love. I never been that type of girl who wanted attention. I used to really hide myself. I was very shy. I was quiet. I was insecure. I didn't want to be seen because I didn't feel like there was anything worth seeing. Y'all, I know it's sad to say, but I did believe that about myself. I don't feel sad when I say that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna take that back. I don't feel sad when I say that because at that version of myself, I was really depressed. I was going through a lot of mental stuff, a lot of insecurity. So it's just like around that time, I guess it makes sense. It made sense, but I didn't know how to speak up for myself around that time or how to feel safe in my own skin. So when someone came and they liked me, I was confused, like, why the fuck would you like me? I thought I had to be like loud or perfect or outgoing to be desirable. But even in my softness, people saw me, or even in my shyness, people saw me because I was surviving. And I really wasn't ready for that. It took me a long time to like actually see like myself, see my beauty, see like my power, see like my energy. I didn't grow up with like a strong example of love or self-love. I wasn't taught how to like necessarily pour into myself. I come from women that survived and they put themselves on the back burner and they kept going. I didn't learn how to set those boundaries or how to receive love without overworking for it or feel like I'm not enough to receive and I need to do more to prove like I'm worthy. That's the same thing I just said, but I just explained it differently, I guess. So when I became a young adult, all of that like unhealed energy showed up, like all of it. It showed up in how I moved, in how I gave, in how I showed up in relationships and friendships. I overcompensated a lot. I overgave. I overplayed my part. I poured from the most broken, cracked cup there is. And I thought it made me like good. It made me a good person. I thought it made me more lovable. I thought it made people seem like, oh, she's so valuable. She's enough. I thought if I did enough, they'll stay. They'll love me. And if I loved hard enough, they will love me back at the same level. But instead of being valued, I was being used and abused. Instead of people thinking like, damn, she's like the best friend, or she's the best girlfriend, or she's such a valuable person, or she's just like, I love her. They thought, she green as hell. She'll do anything. I don't have to give her much. I don't have to give her nothing because she's going to give, she's going to pour, she's going to do whatever regardless. And the worst part is, they were right. They were right. That was exactly what I was doing. What I've learned is that our inner dialogue shapes how we love, how we receive love, and what we tolerate. I didn't know how to love myself. I can't lie, I did not. So I gave people what I didn't have for myself. I poured from emptiness. I overextended, I overcompensated, and I convinced myself that doing the most made me valuable, but it didn't, because when love isn't mutual, when it's not rooted in respect or peace, All that porn doesn't make you a queen. It doesn't make you the best person in the world. It makes you a target for people who will want to use that goodness in you. If I was showing up with a lot of loyalty, a lot of consistency and care, thinking this will make them love me more, this will make them choose me, while he was giving me the bare fucking minimum. Friendships too, while they was giving me the bare minimum. And because I didn't know any better, because I didn't have like that self-concept of myself and like boundaries and sticking to boundaries, I accepted it. I thought if I stayed long enough, if I proved myself more, maybe I'll earn the kind of love I crave. Maybe they'll give me what I give them. I thought like when I see people, and I feel like I attracted a lot of broken people too. I was broken too, but I was broken as well, but I feel like I was attracting broken people like the same. And I always tried to give them what I didn't have for myself. I never wanted people to feel like that loneliness I felt. I never want people to feel like depressed, because I know how fucking terrible that feels. I know how fucking terrible being like deep in your depression and not having help or having people to be around you. So I wanted to be that person for people, and I was hoping it would be the same for me, but that they didn't. You don't earn love by abandoning yourself. The real shift came when I started on becoming the best woman to me. Not for him, not for them, not for a job, not for a person, place, or thing, but for the version of me I had abandoned. I abandoned myself so many times just to be seen, and it took a lot of time to even have a piece of a self-concept. I had to sit with my loneliness. I had to sit with myself in my most weakest state. I had to unlearn the lie that being alone means being unworthy. I say this with no shame. I'm not here to pretend I've always had self-worth or that I have never lost myself in people. I did. I abandoned myself just to be held by people that didn't love me. I stayed in situations where halfway love felt safer than being alone or sitting in silence by yourself. And sometimes sitting in that silence means facing yourself, and I wasn't ready to face myself. What I also learned is that staying in something that drains you isn't a win at all. Everything shifted for me around like 22 going into 23, like right before my 23rd birthday. That's when I realized men, respectfully, are the easiest thing to fucking get, especially in this time. And because they're easy to get, I felt like, why am I chasing niggas? I'm not rushing today. I'm not stressing about partnership. If it's for me, it will come. If it is aligned, God reveal it. What I'm asking for now requires a real man, not someone who leads with ego and asks, what do you bring to the table? Or who do you think you are? That's not even a question when love is mutual. When a man truly sees you, really sees you, he doesn't interrogate you. He protects you, he pours back, and he builds with you. And that's why I don't believe in this like forced idea of 50-50 relationships. Love is fluid. Some days it's 75-25. Some days it's 60-40. Some days you're both at 10%, just trying to hold each other through it. Love isn't math. It's devotion. It's care. It's showing up. It's nurturance. Even when it's inconvenience. Even when it's hard. So when I hear women asking, how can I be the best woman for him? It hits me because I've been there. I've been her. I tried to mold myself into someone worthy of being loved when I didn't even know what it meant to love myself. But like Maya Angelou said, do the best you can until you know better. Then when you know better, do better. There's no amount of becoming that will make a man who isn't ready. If a man truly wants you, he will show up not with confusion, but he'll show up with clarity, with action, with care. My brothers did it at 13 and 14. Buying gifts, finding rides, and showing up. A man who truly wants you will always make a way. And if he doesn't, believe those actions. The truth is, and I hope a lot of women know this, you are already the one. You don't have to beg for a seat in one that's not built for you. You don't have to bend yourself into shapes that don't reflect your worth. You don't have to become smaller to be loved bigger. So no, the question is not, how can I be the best woman for him? The real question is, am I am I being the best woman for myself? Because the right man won't make you prove anything. He'll meet you where you are. He'll rise to your energy. He'll make sure you feel safe enough to stay soft. And the version of you that is full, that is healed, that is rooted, she knows her worth. She doesn't chase, she doesn't perform, she doesn't shrink. She becomes for herself. And that is, in fact, where love begins. That is where the real love begins. And love that is real, it will recognize her when it sees her and never asks her to forget who she is to be loved. At any given point in time, I always say focus on you first, and God will always provide. He will always give you what you need in those moments. I do have grief for myself that did tolerate those things with people. I do have a lot of grief in it, but I'm also holding myself. I'm holding space for myself in those moments. I don't harbor any ill will towards those people. Those people were just a reflection of my mind space at that time, what I believed about myself, and life gave me what I believed about myself. So, and when you're trying to figure out your self-concept and who you are as a person, hold space, be graceful, give yourself time, because it is hard when you lose yourself. And I mean, like, lose, or you never had a concept of yourself because of life and how life works. You already know it is hard to gain it. So, and it's a journey. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna be up here like, yeah, it's just like, yeah, you're gonna just do. No, it is a fucking journey. It took me years after like my last relationship to just even have a piece of like understanding of myself and where I was and my brokenness in that midst of all that shit. So I say this to say, hold space for yourself. These men will come and they will go. I feel like men right now are the easiest thing to get. Well, easy, like real men. A man who is truly rooted in who he is and isn't trying to thrive in his ego, even not trying to thrive in his masculine energy, even if it's toxic. He's not trying to live in that, that weird ego bubble. They protect their energy, and so should you. Remember, life doesn't give you what you want, it gives you who you are. And if you feel like you aren't worthy, it will give you that unworthiness. If you feel like you are deserving of a good man in life, if you are deserving of all the beautiful things in life, and you really embody that life, the universe has no choice but to reflect that back to you. Remember that. It is the mirror principle, and I'm going to make a video about the mirror principle, so y'all tune in